every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Olajumoke Latiji. In our major story, President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo declare access. Also in this program, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says federal government's policies on the small and medium-scale enterprises development must be measurable. Nigerian Army reinstates 3,032 soldiers to send them back to the war fronts. And outside Nigeria, Europe's migrant crisis reaches record levels as scuffles break out in Budapest. Many thanks for joining us again. President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo on Thursday made public details of their assets which they have declared to the Code of Conduct Bureau. According to statements by the President's Senior Special Assistant, Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, on Thursday, the President has about 30 million naira in his only bank account with Union Bank PLC, while the Vice President has a balance of 94 million naira and $94,000. Buhari's assets consist of houses in his hometown Dora, Kano, Kaduna and Abuja, as well as his farm in Dora. The President equally declared his investments in Berger Paints and landed property in Kano and Port Harcourt. The statement stated that Osinbajo's assets included houses in VGC and Ikoyi in Lagos, Redemption Camp, Mowe in Ogun State, and a mortgage house in the United Kingdom. The Vice President also listed some exalted vehicles and shares in a few companies. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Rahman Adeola Ikpaye as Deputy Chief of Staff and Laolu Akode as Senior Special Assistant, Media and Publicity in the Presidency. The two new appointees will work in the office of the Vice President. Ikpaye is the immediate past Attorney General of Lagos State. He studied at the University of Lagos, where he graduated with BA degree in History in 1984 and 1988. He is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria and the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, respectively. Laolu Akode graduated from the University of Ibadan in 1990 with an honors degree in History and a master's degree in Communication and Language Arts in 1992. Akode taught at the State University of New York at Stony Brook and also Suffolk County Community College in Long Island, New York, between 2002 and 2015. Ikpaye and Akode have been working with Vice President Osinbajo since the inception of the President's administration. Nigeria and its neighbors South and Presby is set to review activities and management of the Joint Development Authority, as well as intensify collaboration on fighting insecurity and piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. President Muhammadu Buhari and his counterpart Patrice Talwada made the commitments during a brief meeting at the presidential villa in Abuja. A statement signed by the presidential spokesman Garba Shehu revealed the review, which will hold in 2016, will focus on enhanced security for greater economic stability in both countries and the region at large. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the impact of government's efforts in the development and promotion of small and medium-scale enterprises in the country must be clear and measurable. The Vice President added that this is the only way massive funding can be attracted to fund small and medium-scale businesses from investors and banks. He spoke during a briefing session in his office by the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, led by its Director General, Bachir Masari. Osinbajo said skill and focus were key for the agency to achieve the goals for which it was created. Stressing the importance of SMED succeeding in its mandate, the Vice President said a well-structured small and medium-scale industry is the way to go if the Nigerian economy must be developed and catch up with the advanced world. Osinbajo also noted that by directly impacting women, WHO, according to him, are prudent that will ensure that the entire community benefits immensely. Responding, Masari outlined the many plans SMED are drawn to attract more investments and funding to the SMEs and the frustrations they encounter. One of them was advising the past administrations to set aside certain taxes on imported items to be used to fund local SMEs. Meanwhile, the Vice President also received earlier today the executive members of the Northern Reawakening Forum, led by its chairman, Honorable Muhammad Kumalia. The forum leaders said they were visiting the Vice President because he had shown deep concern for the victims of the insurgency in the northeast part of Nigeria and had visited and interacted with them. Meanwhile, River State's Governor Nyesom Wike and the People's Democratic Party have opposed the decision to replace the chairman of the State Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja with another judge. Justice Muazu Pindiga was on Thursday replaced with Justice Ambrose Sulaiman on the orders of the President of the Appeal Court, Justice Zainab Bokachua. But defense counsel Mano Kala raised an objection on the grounds that his client was not informed about the change. Counsel to petitioner Kyolujimi did not oppose the replacement of Pindiga. Justice
It had happened in the past that even a whole tribunal was disbanded and nothing happened. So you cannot begin to question why the sole authority under the Constitution decided to change the leadership of the tribunal.
As allegations of corruption continue to trail the administration of former Governor Babatunde Fashola, the man in the eye of the storm, Fashola says is ready to give account of all decisions of the state government under his watch. Fashola stated this while delivering a lecture titled Nigerian Political Class and the Citizens' Quest for Good Governance at the 16th Mike Okonkwo Annual Lecture in Lagos. Happy Laluwale was there and tells us more.
The recent publication allegedly found on the website of the Lagos State government claiming that former Governor Babatunde Fashola expended 79 million naira on a personal website and over 100 million naira on seeking 2 boreholes at the State House have continued to generate reactions from different quarters. Though this event was aimed at delivering a lecture on the state of the nation by Fashola, it turned out to be an avenue for the former governor to explain some decisions of his administration. Fashola expressed readiness to defend all actions taken by his government. He, however, says he would only respond if such allegations are channeled through appropriate quarters.
Accountability. I don't know how you expect me to account on the pages of newspapers. That is not the place to account.
The former governor says public outcry led to the enactment of the Lagos State Traffic Law. He also denied running an anti-people government while in office.
Our opponents joined the chorus in what I call a deceitful act of double speed, because many of their states at the time had done the same thing without even the benefit of a law. They deliberately christened a restriction of 5.6% of roads as a ban. But let us look at the result of the policy. The 15 monthly deaths dropped first to 3 per month, later to 1 per month, and later there were no reported deaths by motorcycle in Lagos for the whole of 2014.
For his part, the presiding bishop of the Redeemed Evangelical Mission, Mike Okonkwo, in whose honor the event was organized, urged the political class to always do their best at impacting the lives of the general populace. The annual lecture is part of activities lined up to celebrate the 78th birthday of Bishop Okonkwo Abiola Oluwole. CoreTV News, Lagos.
A Kaduna-based human rights organization, the Central Initiative for Development and Fundamental Rights Initiative, has issued a 48-hour ultimatum to Governor Nasir El-Rufai to sack his special advisor in investment promotion, Jimmy Lawal. The group hinges the demand on claims that the governor's aide is on the wanted list of the United States. Chairman of the group, John Danfulani, says at a news conference that he would mobilize a mass protest if the governor fails to act after 48 hours. Amina Nebi has run this report, presented from our studios.
Government that came through a puritanical stand that she is the most sincere, she's credible, she's more sincere than any other government, and people gave them mandate. So if you came in through a clean slip that you are walking saint, we see no reason why some of the appointees of the governor are characters that are wanted in some countries in the world. Example of his special assistant on investment, Jimmy Lawal. A simple Google now on the name Jimmy Lawal will give you over 1,000 links. And of those 1,000 links, none of the links is carrying a credible report that he has done something good. It's either he's wanted in America, it's either he has bankrupted Alpha Merchant Bank, it's either the Senate committee are looking for him because of the role he played during the sales of houses. So how can you tell us that you are Mr. Clean? You are credible people. So how can you tell me that you are clean and you're working with those characters? What if we have an investment now to promote in America, and the special advisor on investment promotion is needed in US to go and sign papers? How will Jimmy Lawal be there?
The Nigerian Army has formally reinstated over 3,000 out of 5,000 officers and men that were tried over offenses committed in the course of the war against insurgency. This is as part of steps to shore up the fighting force with a view to meeting the 3-month deadline handed down by President Muhammadu Buhari on the end of Boko Haram insurgency. Acting spokesman for the Army, Colonel Sani Usman, says at a news conference in Abuja that the reinstated soldiers have commenced training and retraining in preparation for a return to the front line. Defense correspondent Pius Samuel reports.
This is not the first time that the army authorities are promising to end insurgency in the country. But this time they appear more determined to take out Boko Haram within the time frame set by President Buhari. The army spokesman says the renewed commitment is a fallout of the synergy between the army and the Air Force.
I would like to acknowledge the commendable role the Nigerian Air Force plays in the fight against terrorism and insurgency in our great nation, and also with sister services and other security agencies. It is on record that we have a very close cooperation and coordination of military offensive against the terrorists between the Nigerian Air Force and the Nigerian Army.
And to ensure that the 3-month deadline is achieved, the Army has recalled 3,032 soldiers tried and dismissed for various offenses allegedly committed in the course of the war against insurgency. The reinstated soldiers are undergoing training to prepare them for what the Army says is the closing stage of the operational aspect of the counter-insurgency operations.
You will also recall that Nigerian Army some time ago instituted a committee to review the recent disciplinary cases in the service, especially of those soldiers in the defunct Operation Zaman Lafia. The committee has concluded its sitting last week and has made certain recommendations that led to the reinstatement of 3,032 soldiers into the Nigerian Army out of 5,000 cases that were reviewed.
The Army admits it still has some operational challenges, but revealed that it has been getting vital information from the public, which have enhanced the war against Boko Haram.
We would like to reiterate, or rather assure, the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and indeed the good people of our great nation, that we will definitely meet up with the 3-month deadline and do the nation proud.
Only a few days ago, the Army announced that troops have retaken the border town of Gambarungala, but it is also admitting that there are still pockets of towns under the Boko Haram control. The Army authorities insist that those territories will soon be claimed by the troops. Par Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. We'll be back after this time at 2 more stories. Please stay with us.
Is it what crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. They don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I said to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has the right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
Thank you for joining us again. For more news and other programs, please visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can follow us on Twitter at CoreTV News NG. Also visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/CoreTV, space the news. Inspector General of Police Solomon Arase has directed all police commands and formations to stop the use of commercial vehicles for operations and patrol duties. Police spokesperson Olabisi Kolawole disclosed this in a statement issued in Abuja. She noted that the directive has since been circulated to all police formations and commands across the country. The police spokesperson explained that the IGP's decision was as a result of the regular complaints by members of the public, as well as the negative consequence of such practices. The police also warned that any unit which disregards the directive will face severe sanctions. The Department of State Services has compulsorily retired 15 senior officials, including 2 directors, a signal from the leadership of the security agency, named former DSS spokesman Marin Oga as one of the affected persons. Until her retirement, Oga was removed from a previous promotion and later lost the promotion. She and 44 others were given last March on the grounds that it was contrary to a long-standing policy of promoting deserving staff at the end of each year. She was promoted to deputy director in the aftermath of a commendation of former President Goodluck Jonathan, who was impressed by her public enlightenment initiative on anti-terrorism. There were reports that she was to be deployed to Maiduguri, but this was never confirmed by the DSS management. With the emergence of a new commandant, the National Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Imo State Command, seem to have recorded some achievements recently. Pedro Daba, who is just 2 months old as commandant, in an interview with CoreTV News, relates the achievements of the Corps under his leadership. Imo State correspondent Adibadia Wofeso has the details in this report.
NSCDC Imo State Command claims it has recorded commendable achievements in just 2 months.
First and foremost, we discovered that a tipping truck, this tipping truck that was supposed to convey chippings, sand, gravels for building construction. You know, hoodlums now turn the tipping trucks to be conveying petroleum product. They load them inside there, and of course, after loading the product, you now put sand on top or put chippings on top. If they are passing, you think these people are passing with sand or they are passing with chipping. So my surveillance men catch on that opportunity. We arrested one first at Mbano, and we also arrested some 2 suspects. The owner right now has also been arrested. He's in custody. He's waiting prosecution. The truck is outside.
One of the command conquests is the arrest of a woman who has been engaging in illegal oil business using dangerous chemicals to produce diesel in a residential area unknown to the people living there.
The arrest that is breaking the camel back, that is arrest we made at Aladima, 21 Olokoro Street, Aladima Extension here in the city of Owerri, just immediately after Insu. We discovered that a residential apartment is being used for a commercial, for illicit commercial activity of illegally dealing on petroleum products. In fact, it is unheard of to see that a product of a petroleum product is being marketed in a densely populated commercial city inside the heart of the city, and nobody is talking. And of course, that kind of product, apart from the economic nature is given to this great country, is also hazardous. Is not safe for people to even live around. Is highly inflammable.
He attributed the achievement of his command to the acceptance from the good people of the states as well as the state governments.
Working environment, we've been welcomed by the people of Imo State, and of course we're also being encouraged by the good government in place. That is His Excellency the Governor of Imo State, the Executive Governor Owele Okorocha, who also ensuring that security are being encouraged. He's supporting us seriously in doing the job.
Ideba also called on the general public not to engage in panic buying. He said on no account should anyone store the premium motor spirit, knowing the danger involved. Ajibade Awofeso, CoreTV News, Owerri.
As 2015 runs through the ember months, Kwara State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps is charged the general public not to differentiate the last 4 months of the year from the other months. While speaking at the launch of the Ember Months campaign in Ilorin, the leadership of the Corps reiterates its readiness to make roads safer for Nigerians during this period, when statistics show the road users increased in other months in the year. Rashid has more in this report.
With year 2015 gradually running out, the months of September through December, otherwise called Ember Months, is always known for an upsurge in activities, and for relevant agencies like the Federal Road Safety Corps, more accidents are likely to be recorded in this period. Thus, the need for sensitization and orientation. The Kwara State Sector Commander Sunday Maku notes that in Ember Months, there is more movement of people and increase of road usage across the country, which may lead to users pushing the boundaries, leading to reckless driving, which accounts for a greater percentage of accidents recorded during these months.
The Ember Months are September, October, November, and December. And these months continue to occur every year. So the months by themselves are not evil. However, we have witnessed series of activities of people that are usually heightened during this period. Because during the period, you will see people, so many people getting ready for Xmas, getting ready for New Year. So, as a result of these human activities, you see that there is a very high volume of traffic on Nigerian roads. And of course, not in Nigeria alone, all over the world. So, what I'm saying in essence is that the months are not evil. They are as good as the other 8 months in a year.
The road safety boss, however, advised road users to obey driving and traffic laws and also observe other driving precautions.
Public enlightenment in FRSC is a perennial activity. It goes from day 1 to the last day of the year because we know the importance. Up to now, some people are talking that, you know, they don't know that people should be using a seatbelt, which is quite unfortunate. So we don't take chances. That we have ambulances everywhere. We have clinics on you know, dotted the country. We have zebra. This zebra, each zebra that we have in the country is equipped with an ambulance, full with medical personnel and drugs. People should try as much as possible to use vehicles with good tires with grooves, not worn out tires. They should not carry petrol in their vehicle if they are traveling. By the special grace of God, you can get fuel to buy anywhere in Nigeria. Okay, you must maintain, you ensure that you maintain your vehicles properly before you embark on any journey. And it is good for you to plan your journey. Start early so that you don't travel at night.
While the Federal Road Safety Corps continues with the sensitization of road users, it also reiterates its readiness to deal with anyone found guilty of traffic offenses. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilorin.
The recent air mishaps involving helicopters in different parts of the country is once again brought into sharp focus the challenges facing the aviation sector in Nigeria. In this report, CoreTV News takes an overview of the Nigeria's aviation sector, challenges and what the aviation sector needs to do to measure with minimum standards across the world. We'll bring you details of that report in a subsequent bulletins. It has been 6 years since foremost human rights activist Gani Fawayimi died. Known during his time as the People's Advocate, activists gathered on Wednesday in remembrance of the late legal icon, businessman and international figure of justice and equity. In this report, CoreTV News takes a look at activism without Gani, as it was fondly called in his days, and Inka Kiremi falls this in.
22nd April 1938 to 5th September 2009. Those were the days of late Gani Fawayimi, a greater part of it spent fighting for the rights of the downtrodden. At a 3-day commemoration of 6 years of Gani's exit held in Lagos, which ended on Wednesday, President of Women Arise, Joe Oke-Odomaki, extolled him as selfless, principled, and a dogged fighter for human rights.
Gani died without realizing the dream that he had of Nigeria. But what of if Gani did not fight? If he did not fight, there wouldn't have been registration of political parties. If he did not fight, what would have happened to human rights? What would have happened to education? So as we are gathered here today to remember this illustrious son of Africa, to remember a dogged fighter, principled person, and somebody who gave his life for all of us.
Nigerians will not forget in a hurry that although he was a senior advocate of Nigeria, Gani in 2008 rejected one of the highest national honors that can be bestowed on a citizen by the Nigerian government, Order of the Federal Republic, OFR, in protest of the many years of misrule since Nigeria's independence. As he was described, the late Gani Fawayimi was the pain in the neck of any insensitive government in Nigeria. During his 30-year practice at the Nigerian bar, he was in detentions 27 times, he was in prison 13 times, at 8 police stations and 5 detention camps. In all, he faced 15 political motivated criminal charges, 13 searches of his law chambers and home. His international passport was seized 18 times, not counting some of those around him who suffered from Gani's fight for the people. Yet, his commitment to democracy and human rights never wavered. From 2009 till date, the question has been, who can step into Gani's shoes? 6 years after the death of the human activist Gani Fawayimi, has anyone been able to step into Gani's shoes so far? CoreTV News is right here at Gani Fawayimi's park in Ojota, Lagos, to get to talk to people to know who has been able to step into Gani's shoes.
Nobody can step into Gani's shoes.
It's been extremely difficult to find anyone to fill that yawning gap that Gani Fawayimi has left behind.
Nobody. The shoes the man left behind is too big for anybody. Even those people that we have, they think that, nobody can be like Gani. Nobody.
Gani is an indefatigable fighter. Gani's shoe is too big. Gani's shoe is unmatched. So it is difficult for us as movement to have somebody who will rightly step into Gani's shoe.
I've not seen anyone. stepping into that shoe. For now, I don't know of the future.
Ghana's shoe is too large for anyone to step into.
Nigerians miss Ghani and truly hope for another who will stand up and be the voice to the voiceless. Adeyinka Akinremi, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Poliomyelitis is a highly infectious disease caused by the white polio virus, which is spread by contaminated food and water. Polio can lead to permanent paralysis or even death, mainly affecting children under 5 years of age, according to reports released mid-August by the World Health Organization (WHO). Nigeria is closer to being declared polio-free by 2017 if no new case of the disease are reported. In this report, CoreTV correspondent Neto Elabara takes a look at the history of the fight against polio and current administration's efforts at achieving the 2017 goal a reality.
Polio is deadly, and 1 in every 200 children gets paralyzed as a result of its infection. With the exception of India and Nigeria, polio has been eradicated in most countries, thanks to over 20 million health workers vaccinating children worldwide. The bid to eradicate the virus has led to the creation of national immunization days and weeks on a yearly basis for some time now. With the support of development partners such as the United Nations Children Education Fund, UNICEF, children in Nigeria under the age of 5 are targeted by over 2,000 social mobilizers and thousands of immunization officials nationwide. Nigeria has also, in recent years, stepped up efforts to ensure the country conquer the scourge. Dr. Jonathan Sowadog, a public health practitioner, shed more light on this.
Polio is a short form of poliomyelitis, okay, and that's an infection that affects basically the central nervous system. It's a viral infection and it's caused by oral poliovirus. Okay, so it's purely a viral infection.
In fact, Nigerian health workers took the bull by the horn by going from door to door to ensure every child gets immunized. The experts agreed that effective administration of the vaccine stops infection of the virus that causes polio.
The health workers that move from door to door to give the children, they give what we call booster doses, apart from the normal routine ones that is being scheduled in the immunization. Okay, so these booster doses have gone a long way to curb polio infection in this country.
In Nigeria, type 2 and type 3 strains of white polio vaccine has been effectively eradicated, but the challenge is eradicating of type 1. Dr. Shuadog raises hope of a polio-free Nigeria in view of successes recorded so far.
But based on what's on ground now, it's been said that if from now till 2017 there is no single recorded case of polio, then Nigeria will be declared polio-free.
While the talk goes on about wiping out the virus totally, it is hoped that words will be matched with adequate actions for Nigeria to surely say a bye-bye to polio. Netu Ilare, CoreTV News.
This is still CoreTV Primetime News. We'll be back after this break with stories from the world of business, sports, and outside Nigeria. Please stay with us.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to your husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Also, some people will strong for Yoruba land. Will be strong man. You don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website,
www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. And Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
And in business, the Central Bank of Nigeria said states are yet to receive their shares of the 338 billion naira bailout for the payment of workers' outstanding salaries are responsible for the delay. The CBN said it will approve the release of the funds within 24 hours to any state that has fully complied with all necessary conditions for the loan. It, however, says some of the cash-strapped state governments will be able to access the funds before the end of this week. The Director Corporation's CBN, Ibrahim Muhazu, confirmed the development. He says the delay has been on the part of the state government. Out of the 27 state governments that had applied for the funds, only Kwara, Zamfara and Imo states have received the money. The Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission has said that the construction of the long-awaited second Niger Bridge is still on course. This is contained in a statement signed and made available to newsmen by Acting Head Corporate Communication ICRC Deborah Okafo in Abuja. Okafo disputed reports that the project was on hold, stalled and being propped or even suspended. It will be recorded Director General Aminu Diko recently briefed President Buhari and the media on the status of the bridge, which had since received negative publicity. And outside Nigeria, scuffles have broken out west of the Hungarian capital, Budapest, after police tried to force migrants off a train at the refugee camp. Amid chaotic scenes, police ordered journalists from the scene at Bristol declaring it an operation soon. The train had left Budapest hours after police left migrants in the railway station following a 2-day standoff. Meanwhile, there have been sharp disagreements among European leaders over how to deal with the crisis. The number of migrants entering Europe has reached record levels this year. Germany expects to take in 800,000 asylum seekers this year, 4 times last year's total. The scourge in numbers has created tension and disagreement over EU's migration policy. Germany has been prepared to accept large numbers of asylum seekers, but other countries have not. As pressure mounted the United Kingdom to take more of those fleeing to Europe from Syria, the Prime Minister said the UK will fulfill its moral responsibilities. Earlier, Scotland's First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, accused the government of a walk-in-by attitude, calls for the UK to do more to intensify after the picture of the dead boy on the beach sparked an outcry over the human cost of the crisis. An online petition calling on the UK to accept more refugees raised through the 100,000 threshold, meaning it is now eligible to be considered for a debate in Parliament.
Well, look, anyone who saw those pictures overnight couldn't help but be moved, and as a father, I feel deeply moved by the sight of that young boy on a beach in Turkey. And look, Britain is a moral nation, and we will fulfil our moral responsibilities. That's why I sent the Royal Navy to the Mediterranean and saved thousands of lives. That's why Britain meets our commitment of 0.7% of our economy spent on aid, much of which goes to North Africa, goes to the Middle East to help those countries. That is why Britain is the second biggest bilateral donor in the world to those Syrian refugee camps. And that is why, yes, we are taking thousands of Syrian refugees, and we'll continue to do that. As I said yesterday, we keep that under review. But as I also said yesterday, there isn't a solution to this problem that's simply about taking people.
And in the world of sports, the Super Eagles are on their way to Tanzania for the AFCON qualifying match against the Taifa Stars. But before heading for the East African nation, the team had a mid-interactive session and later held a training session. But CIA has all the details of the two sessions.
It was the Eagles' final show in Abuja just before their departure for Tanzania. But earlier in the day, there was the customary chat between the team and sports journalists, where some of the foreign-based players were quick to assure that they will not disappoint.
I'm not going to try and be Vincent, because Vincent, I'll just try and be myself and play my own game. Obviously the call came a bit later than I'd expected, but as I said, I'll just do what I try and do for club football, and hopefully that'll be enough to succeed here.
Strikers are being judged by goals, and that's which I haven't scored, but I won't say my time with Keshi completely is a failure. So for me, I never gave up on the chance to come here and prove myself. I kept knocking at the door every time, because I know what it means to play for the Super Eagles. So the times that I've been coming and not coming, I never lost hope or anything. Everything I've been doing for my club, it's also indirectly a way of knocking on the national team door. So hopefully this time could be my time, but I don't feel under pressure in any way. I will just continue to be myself and try to help the team when given the opportunity.
Coach Olise was also on hand to defend his choice.
We are building, and you can see it is a real build-up now. It's not as if the players are completely almost knit together. We're getting to know each other. But I'm very optimistic. I'm not looking at what happens if we lose, if we win, or whatever. What I just want to see is my team just go there and play to serve Nigeria and play like they can play. And whatever the result is, we'll take it like that. Our objective is to qualify. You know, if we win on Saturday, we don't qualify anyway. We still have games to play. So it's not because we lose that we're out. It's not because if we win that the job is done. You know, my players can no. The journey is we've just started.
Then it was time for the team's final training session on home soil. Their choice of opponents is a team from one of the football academies in the nation's capital. And although the boys gave a good impression of themselves, the Eagles were still able to put 3 past them. The Super Eagles may have defeated the boys from the academy, but sports analysts are skeptical that they may not have been the best test for the team ahead of the Tanzania encounter. Basiaye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Nigeria coach Sunday Lisa says the Super Eagles side are work in progress, and he has seen signs that the team will be able to make Nigerians proud again. Olise, who spoke to reporters at the media party on Wednesday, reiterated the fact that he knows there is a lot of work to be done, and he's up to the task as regards getting the players to play the way he wants and achieve results for Nigeria. The Super Eagles will be facing Tanzania this weekend in a match day 2 encounter in Dar es Salaam as he qualifies for the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations, enters match day 2. Well, that's a wrap on course of the primetime news, but before we go, a quick reminder of the major stories. President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo declare assets. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says federal government policies on the small and medium-scale enterprises development must be measurable. And Finally, Nigerian Army reinstates 3,032 soldiers to send them back to the war front. Many thanks for staying through with us this night. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. You have a wonderful night rest.